Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back. All that jazz. Thought I'd do a reading for us today. I know I have been very inconsistent with the readings, but I think I said a few weeks back that I was going to forego doing daily readings and just do when I was called to do them. So I was called to do one. So there's that. It is Tuesday. What is the date today? I don't even know. 23rd? Something like that. Anyway, the dogs are barking outside. Hopefully they will subside here in a minute because the neighbors don't seem to like that. But I got this device that was helping for a while, but I don't know. Might need to change the frequency on it or something. Anyway, yes, they seem to have subsided, so no pausing on the video just yet. Yeah. Yep, no, they're still barking. We're going to pause for a moment. I will be right back. Hi guys, we're back. I considered just restarting the entire video since we were only a minute in, but you know me, everything happens for a reason, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that. We're going to shuffle a couple more times. The dogs are quiet now. Everybody seems to be happy. We will ask Spirit, Source, God, Creator, Universe to give us the current energies for today. So, Spirit, Source, God, Creator, Universe, current energies. All right, we got Six of Cups in reverse. So, Six of Cups is nostalgia. So, I feel like Six of Cups in reverse is maybe living in the past. Not thinking of it as the past, but living it as if it were right now. So this happens a lot with, I think last video, we talked a lot about complex PTSD. This is something that happens with complex trauma. So, and again, I'm not a therapist, but this is just what I've learned in my research, in my studies, in my schooling. And that is there's a part of the brain that is able to close the loop, if you will, on the past, and you are able to remember it as an observer. When you have complex trauma, that loop does not get closed, and you end up reliving it as if it were happening right now. And I feel like that's what this energy is. And what I think the message here is, guys, is are you reacting or responding even to situations that are in the past that are not necessarily now, but feel familiar enough that they could be? So I say this carefully because certain situations will remind you, and your body will hold on to those memories in an effort to protect you, right? So I will give you a good example. Someone who was physically abused and was not able to close the loop on that and resolve it, if you will, later on, years down the road, they could be in a very safe situation and someone might raise their hand for a completely different reason, and the person with the complex trauma would cower or block or hold their hand up to block something, right? That is living in the past, literally living in the past. So we need to pay attention to those things. You know, if it's hysterical, it's historical. If you are overreacting to a situation that doesn't warrant the level of emotion that you're reacting with, then chances are you're living in the past. And we don't always know that this is happening. This is something that will happen at a subconscious level, and very seldom are we able to see it ourselves. It will take the other person saying, what the hell, right? What was that all about? To kind of open you up to it, to the possibility of it, right? Because when we live in our own world, how do we know what's real and what's not real? We don't, right? We need outside mirrors, if you will, which is what our relationships are. They are mirrors to show us what is happening. So I feel like that's what this card means, guys. It's some really emotional reaction that you're having is not a reaction that is justified, maybe. I don't want to say justified because they're all justified, but it's not fitting the situation that you're reacting to now. It is literally shining a light on some past trauma that you maybe need to deal with. Not a bad thing, especially if we're being aware of it. And the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So this is resources, balancing your resources, and they're out of balance. Okay, maybe, let's see, let's think about what the resources are, right? You're trying to balance and you're trying to choose, and the world's coming, say that we've got this emotion here. I think we're too emotional and not actionable. This could be struggling, being overwhelmed by these emotions, right? It's that over the top reaction to whatever situation it is, and it is overwhelming, right? When we get overwhelmed, it's easy to get put back in that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode, and that's when these subconscious reactions come to surface, right? And it takes that in order for us to understand that. So not a great energy to be in, but it is a helpful energy in the long run, and it will lead to your Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles in the upright. So this is breaking family curses, if you will. Not curses, but karma, generational karma. You are literally breaking generational karma, and you are doing it for the whole family, right? A lot of these old past situations that overwhelm you are past situations that overwhelmed your parents and their parents and their parents and their parents. And it takes one strong person to be self-aware enough to, I don't want to say fix it, but to eradicate it, really, right? And to not pass it on to future generations. And that in and of itself will heal your ancestors and your descendants, right? Ten of Pentacles. Pentacles is resources. You've got all the resources you need, and you are building the resources to pass down to your children and their children. Resources in the way of how you react to these overwhelming situations. You know, we have skills that we build out of necessity. They're not taught. They are something that's just, it's a reaction that you have at a subconscious, intuitive level that works for a while during the trauma. But then you maybe were never taught the academic way to deal with certain situations, and figuring that out and learning that is something that you will teach your future generations, right? It's it's generational wealth, but not in the way of money. I do not see this as money. You guys know I very seldom see pentacles as money, but it is leaving a legacy of healing, building up your assets, right? Your children and their children will inherit your abilities, not necessarily your money, but that your abilities are resources. They are the way that you are able to heal, right? And wouldn't it be nice if our children and grandchildren never had anything that hurt in which to heal? Now that's kind of a pie in the sky idea, and there wouldn't be a lot of learning involved there, but at some point, you know, they'll find things that they need to heal that maybe you didn't have time to, or was not present in your situation. But you know, every day we strive to be better than the day before. We strive to be a little more knowledgeable, a little more wise, a little more healed every day. But that never ends, guys, because we're human, right? We're human. So that's going to be an ongoing thing throughout your life, and will continue to be, right? Sorry if that sounds a little disheartening, but you know, I mean, it just is. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So your luck is turning for the better. You remember the last reading we had it on its side. So by going through all of this, you're changing your luck, right? Because you're starting to realize that even the bad things that happened for good reasons, right? And you're starting to understand, you know, that clock is turning, the wheel is spinning, if you will, and fortune is coming your way. You know, and that fortune might be the healing. And fortune might be the fact that your children and or grandchildren may not have to heal what it is you healed within yourself. And you're passing down that, you're passing down the strength with which to approach it. If you think about it, with enough support, anyone can do anything, right? It takes a village, blah, blah, blah. And you becoming strong within yourself is going to inspire and encourage your descendants to become stronger within themselves. And they'll know that your support is there, and it's support. It's not doing the work for someone, it's supporting them while they do the work themselves. And understanding that. And that is literally a jackpot, if you will, in the grand scheme of things. You've figured out the method, you've figured out the, what is the word I want to use? Recipe, or the algorithm, if you will, in which to pursue this healing journey, right? And you'll find what works for you is not necessarily what works for others, and it may not even work for your descendants. But what it will do is inspire them to find what works for them, right? And that's all we can do. We can't do the work for others, but we can inspire them to do the work for themselves. Because you won't believe anything that you don't want to believe, and they won't believe anything that they don't want to believe. And what works for you may not work for them. And that's okay, because that's kind of how it was designed in this crazy world that we live in. Can I get one more card regarding this healing journey? One more card on the healing journey. One more card. Thank you so much. Let's see, it fell on the ground, so. Ooh, we have the Star. Wishes come true. This is what you wished for, guys. It's what you wished for, and you are receiving divine energy. Hang on, let me put these cards down. There we go. Receiving divine energy from above, and you're pouring it out below. You are the channel with which this energy flows. And you're starting to realize that you are not the energy, you are the channel of the energy. It's kind of like a drop of water within the ocean is still the ocean, if that makes sense. And a drop of water by itself can't do much, but the whole entire ocean can do a lot, right? So I don't know if that made sense to you guys. It made sense in my head the way I said it, but I'm not sure I said that correctly. So the energy of the universe is all within you, but you are one drop of the energy of the entirety of the energy. So you have it all behind you. You may not contain it, but you can channel it. You can bring it forward. You can be a part of the bigger ocean of energy that exists within the universe. And you are a part of that. And we're all a part of that. And we're all connected to it. We need only channel it. Okay? So I'm going to leave the tarot portion there. I feel like I could explain that more, but I kind of want you guys to chew the fat on that a little bit and think about, what does that mean to you? Right? These readings are meant to read the energy that exists as it stands today, and it is meant to shed some light on some things that maybe you were confused about or had questions about. But at the end of the day, it's going to generate more questions for which you are the only one that has the answers. Right? A tarot reading is not going to give you all your answers. It's going to point you in the direction. It's going to maybe reveal some truths that need revealing, but it's never going to be the final answer. The final answer exists within you, and it is up to you to have the courage and the strength and the inspiration to do so for yourself. All right? I hope that made sense. We're going to get a soul truth card. Yeah, it's not like me to not want to explain something fully, but yeah, that's what I'm drawn to do today. So we'll go with it. We'll go with it. There was a movie, actually, I was trying to find a movie on Netflix last night, and there was a movie called Go With It. So maybe I'll have to watch that. I don't know. Crazy. Guys, we can see everything as something or nothing, right? Everything is something or nothing. So their signs are everywhere or nowhere. I choose to see them when they reveal themselves to me in a funny way that way. Because you know what? The universe has a sense of humor. You know, why should this journey be boring and only ever hard? It can be fun and exciting and funny, right? Because laughter literally is the highest form of energy. Remember that movie, Monsters Inc., right? The kids' laughter was worth more than their fear at the end of the day. But anyway, let's get a Soul Truth card. Soul Truth. Advice for today. Spirit, Source, God, Creator, Universe. Can I get a Soul Truth advice card for today? That's a lot. Too many. Sorry. Soul Truth. Energy for today, please. Energy for today. Advice. Wow, that was a lot. You do need to pick them up because that was a lot, but way too many. But I'm going to take this one, which was on the top, and start there. What do I believe about money? Do my beliefs match my dreams? So guys, well, I'm going to read it and then we'll talk about it. How does your relationship with money affect your current situation? Do you believe you are worthy? Do you believe you're capable? Do you trust money, or does money trust you? Money is an energy. It ebbs and flows. You are worthy of it, and it is your responsibility to heal your relationship with money as part of your waking up to the whole of you and your purpose. So your soul action for today, take a deep dive in your belief system around money. Are there any beliefs you need to upgrade to create the results you're wanting most in your life? Write out your money story. Is it time for a sacred shift? What will your next chapter be? Fill in the blank. I am grateful to money because... So guys, it's funny because I was very adamant that the Ten of Pentacles was not about money. And if you think about, we can replace the word resources with, the word money with resources in this card as well. But apparently, Spirit, Source, God, Creator is bringing me back to this money situation, right? So a lot of people at times will say that they hate money, right? Money changes people. They hate money. Money is evil. Money is the root of all evil, blah, blah, blah. If you continue to say those words and tell yourself that story about money, you will literally repel it, right? When you show gratitude for money, then the universe will give you more reasons to show that gratitude for money. When you show contempt for money, the universe will give you more reasons to show contempt for money. The universe will literally lock in your beliefs. So if you're having issues with money, maybe try. And what's the worst that can happen, guys? It works. You're not going to hurt anything with these affirmations, with this, maybe journal about it, right? Why are you grateful for money? What has money done for you that has been a blessing in your life? What has money not done that has ended up being a blessing in your life? Money is just an energy. Money is just a resource. And if you think about it, it's the middleman, right? Like, I can grow vegetables and you can have a cow and we can trade vegetables for meat and eliminate the need for money altogether. So it is literally just a resource. It was something that was created in order to put people who had different services that weren't necessitating between those two. I could sell my vegetables to this person and get the money and then buy the meat from that person. So it's literally just an exchange of the resource, right? What's worth the money. And in more recent times, more newer times, more current times, money is exchanged for time, right? You go to a job and you give them 8 hours and they give you a paycheck. Time is as valuable, if not more valuable, than money. Think about that. I often would tell myself, like when I was getting groceries delivered a lot, what is my time worth? It's $5 to get it delivered. Is the hour and a half of my time worth $5? Well, what do I get paid at work? $15 an hour. So clearly, if I spend an extra hour at work and get the groceries delivered, I'm still up by $10. So think about it that way, guys. Think about exchanging your time for money and your money for time. Are you paying someone for their time, right? That $5 delivery fee, I'm paying that person for their time in which to deliver my groceries. So I want you guys to really consider time as the resource, as the currency. And then what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for that money has given you? Has it given you back some time? Has it given you some freedom in a way? Has it given you the opportunity and the time to pursue something that is of a higher value to you? Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I gave you guys a lot to chew on today. I'd love to see your thoughts about it, and we'll talk soon. Much love and light. Whoa. Hey guys, how's it going? I just dropped my pen, sorry. So I actually left a few hours between doing the reading and doing the after reading. So I don't know if that affects things or not, but we'll see. The date, we had the 23rd. So I feel like 23 is a thing. I've seen 23 a lot today. I know there was a movie. I know we talked a lot today about movies, called 23 with, I think it was Jim Carrey. But interesting movie, actually. Check it out. But there's something about the number 23. I didn't look it up for you. You guys can do that and see what that means for you. But yeah, 23rd. Then I paused the video. And I was talking about reacting, responding, reminding, revisiting, resolving. A lot of re's in there. We just came out of Mercury retrograde, which is all the re's, right? So a reaction, a response is a reminder to revisit and to resolve. Bottom line. If the reaction is over the top, right? Yeah, but I just thought that was interesting. There was like 5 or 6 words that started with re that all kind of was talking about those trauma responses, those triggers, those reminders, if you will, and the resolutions to those. I talked when the 10 of Pentacles came out about family curses and karma. And I kind of used it interchangeably, and I wanted to explain that. Curses are not karma. Karma is literally a Sanskrit word meaning action. So from a perspective of that, your karma is that which you created with your actions, okay? So the consequence with which the universe is returning you, given some action that you took. A curse, by today's definition, would not be that, right? But you could, there are people who would say that they are cursed because they have this bad luck or whatever, because they're not willing to look at their own accountability with it. So a curse could just be a karmic return of consequence that you have no idea what the action was. So maybe try to trace that back. Trace back your actions, your consequences, and so forth. There is nothing in the universe that is not caused. You know, what is the law of physics? To every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So, I mean, it's the law. It's the law of the universe. It's the law of karma. If you do something, it will be returned to you. And it may not be immediate, right? It might not be in this lifetime. It might not be in this journey. It might not be in this phase of your life, if you will. But there's always a cause. So keep that in mind. Then I said the word academics a couple times, and I thought that was interesting because none of what I do here is really academic, right? It's metaphysical. There's an academia behind it, but it's more of a guide for you to intuit your own interpretations, really, of the cards and so forth. And, you know, Carl Jung talks about tarot being a way to find your shadow, which is, of course, how I use tarot. And I didn't realize that, and that Carl Jung had done that until after I started doing it. And it's funny, I learned the academic reasons behind things once I figured them out with the School of Hard Knocks. But yeah, there's an academic way of doing things that we often forget, right? So like I was talking about the academics of skills. And I said that because I took a class recently, a group therapy class on DBT skills, which is emotional regulation. And it was presented as a academic class. Like there's an academic book that goes with it and all these things. And it's
a lot of the teachings in it were things that I had kind of already been doing, that my body already knew how to do without me having to learn it. For example, holding your breath when you're anxious is a way to calm your emotions, your energy, whatever. And my son actually noticed that I did this when I was anxious. I had no idea I was doing this. And then I learned in DBT skills that you can literally hold your breath to calm yourself down. That's what I mean by academics. So see if there's some stuff out there, some education, some literature, some academia that goes along with what it is you're trying to learn, because you might just find a shortcut there. Anyway, yeah. So the camera shifted when I was talking about the legacy of healing, and I noticed that I had set the cards to the right, the action side. Healing is an actionable thing, right? You can't just receive healing. You have to cause it. You have to take an action to cause it. And the universe is constantly showing us ways in which to pursue that healing, right? We may not always see it. I see it in movies. Like, obviously, I've talked about movies how many times today? The universe will speak your language, okay? I can learn metaphysical things in a goofy movie like Monsters, Inc. That laughter is worth more than fear. I can learn metaphysics in, all kinds of movies, and it might not be the whole movie. Maybe it's just a phrase that someone says in the movie that makes sense to me at the time. If you are open to receiving it, you'll see it. And if you don't see it, then it'll the universe will find another way to tell you whatever. But for me, it's a lot of times it's movies and songs. So figure out what your language is and open up to that. And then I talked about changing your luck. So there is a quote from a movie. I believe it was Thelma and Louise, where he said, brains will only get you so far and luck always runs out. Which is interesting, but and not at all related to what I wanted to say about luck, but it just popped in my head. You can change your luck. I have a family member who says, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. And that's simply because they see it as bad luck, right? They're not looking at the karmic return of their own actions. Nothing is really luck, guys. You're in the right place at the right time. The universe put you there because it's paying you back. Good karma for some good action that you took however long ago. Think of it that way. So you change the luck, right? You change the luck with your actions, and the universe will return it. I talked a lot about inspiring and encouraging. Think about what it means to inspire someone, right? Think about those inspirational people, inspirational speeches, if you will. Someone like Martin Luther King, very inspirational message, right? I have a dream, and so forth. And he's so passionate, and he's so committed to those words that it's contagious, right? You want to find your dream after listening to that speech. You want to make the world a better place after listening to that speech. That is an inspirational message. Your actions, your karma, could be inspirational to others, and it could also be negatively inspirational. So keep that in mind, guys. People are always watching. Always, always, always. Make sure what you're doing is inspirational in a good way. And then encourage people, right? Maybe it's not what you would do, but that doesn't matter. Encourage them and support them. And then I found it funny that I put the cards down to really focus on and read the star card. I said, hang on a second, let me put these cards down. And I literally made a obvious effort with which to free up both of my hands to read the card. How present are you in your life? How many times are you saying, let me put this down so I can focus on what it is I'm doing right now? I think that was the message there. And then putting the cards down. My cards are my tool with which to read the energy, right? So there comes a time when it's time to put the tools aside and trust yourself and trust your intuition and trust the messages you're getting. And then the last thing I wrote down was, of course, the movies, Go With It, Monsters, Inc., and now, of course, Thelma and Louise. So I don't know, maybe those movies mean something to you. Maybe those names mean something to you. I don't know. What were the names in Monsters, Inc.? Mike Wazowski and Sully and who was the older lady? I can't remember her name. Roz, I think her name was, but anyway. Yeah, interesting. So anyway, that's the reading after the reading. Hope you guys found it as humorous as I did, and we'll talk soon. Much love and light.